Like, don't make two guys who mortally hate each other into lovebirds. It doesn't work. And when I say two guys, I mean just two people. I don't mean guys all the time.
Oh, okay.
I know there could be... Well, there's a lot of Naruto yaoi out there, and...
Makes me want to puke.
Yeah, I don't read yaoi, so I'm okay with...
You read Yuri?
I read Yuri. Well, I read heterosexual stuff, and I read Yuri. There's just a border before I have to say no. But yeah, make sure they have some form of connection as not villains. Otherwise, it's known as a crack pairing, and crack pairings are good for laughs. That's about it.
Yeah.
A laugh. And if they're not made to be a laugh, you're being dead serious about the whole thing, people are just going to point their fingers at you and laugh and say, this is the stupidest idea ever. Why are you writing this and being serious about it? But for another bit of advice, use a spell check program and grammar check program. It's easy. I would assume that all you have to do is set your settings on a word processor to read English.
Yeah.
And then translate everything over to English, and then use the grammar check to help make your punctuation and all that more politically correct, and therefore... Yeah, but if there's words in there like names, for example, if I were to type in Naruto's name on my word processor, openoffice.org, which is not on the internet at all. A lot of people in fanfiction.net use this program anyway. So, but if you were to type in Naruto's name, it would come up as a grammar error, well, a spelling error, and then they'd suggest a bunch of things. All you have to do for names is basically say, whenever this name is used, it's an actual word.
English.
It's English. But it goes by the dictionary, those things, so if it's not correct and you know it's correct, like you've talked to people and you've clearly said it and it clearly makes sense, then just say it, block all this, so basically it'll forget that it's a grammar mistake. But yeah, make sure you're right. If you're going to translate it over to another language, make sure you're actually using that that language as if it was your native language. Make people think that you weren't a second language person who learned English. Anything you want to add to this, Matt? That is... any problems you have with fan fiction that are more... that I didn't mention?
I hate how they messed up the stories.
Huh?
I hate how they messed up the stories in the messed up anime.
All right. You mean where they
messed up the whole anime franchise?
Like there are a bunch of people that do stupid things with fan fiction. Notable fan fictions that need to be mentioned, that are good fan fictions, are they're all doshin. Well, one of them's a doshinji. And I will not promise that none of these are in any way. Some of these have hentai content, if they're good. So you have to respect that. Unless you hate anything like that, like, to be perfectly honest with anyone, including Matt, I have read things that have high graphic sex content in them, and I am 16 years old. So I've clearly read things that are meant for 18-year-olds, at least. You know what I read them for? The story, because the stories are all usually pretty good.
Everything is all about the stories.
It's all about the story. I don't think about it in a dirty way, because thinking like that's just wrong. But anyway, notable ones that you for people. These are the ones I'm going to mention. Both of these are Evangelion ones. To be very specific. One of them's a hentai, the other one's not. But the hentai in one of them is like, the hentai one is not a dominant theme. So it's there, but you can ignore it. Hold on, let me open where's my folder for these things? Here it is. One of them is the End of Evangelion retake, which is like an alternate ending to End of Evangelion. And another one called Epilogue of Evangelion, which both of these are Shinji X Asuka, but they're really nice. The second one I mentioned, Epilogue of Evangelion, is hentai free.
Okay.
It's awesome. I can't remember exactly where I found them, but if you Google them, I'm sure you'll find them. Because this is going up on YouTube.
And on the website.
On the website, I will edit the post for it so you can see. If I find the link to these, because these are doujin, so they're not, and they're fans translated doujin, and because doujin aren't of legal copyright, there's no real copyright laws on doujin. You can look them up for free and not feel bad, but if you feel bad, just go look somewhere for them. It's hard to find these things. But yeah, that's that, I guess. I don't have really anything else to say. There's a bunch of other good ones out there. It's just they're really hard to find. Yeah, it's really hard to find a good fan. Well, a doujin, since that's a type of fan work, if it's a fan doujin, then that's a fan fiction in manga format, and they're usually done quite well. Though it's really hard to find a non-hentai one. Yeah, since I've read a lot, I can honestly tell you that the people who put more effort into what they're writing end up coming out as the better people in this situation.
Yeah.
I guess I should mention that I write things for anime that aren't as popular as, say, Naruto. I don't write Bleach, I don't write Death Note, I don't write One Piece, I don't do any of that. I write for things like, well, I haven't written one for this, but I could give an example of something I could write for, and that's Bakemonogatari, which I just posted a review of on the site, in case anyone's curious. So yeah, that's the end of this. I don't have anything else to say, and I don't know if Matt does.
No, I don't.
No? Okay. This has been Japan Anime News.info.
Yep.
Visit our site, unless you're listening to this on the site, of course. The link for all you YouTubers out there is down in the down box, as well as a link to our forum, which has been moved to another source. I'm sure Matt will go back into the video descriptions, unless he's already done that.
Done that.
Okay, good. So ignore what we say when we're talking about the forum in our other two podcasts for the reviews of the two Eva movies. Those forum names are no longer the forum name is no longer valid in that.
It will say file not found on your browser.
So, yeah, the new forum is japananimenews.info/community.
Yeah.
So, unless Matt changes it again for whatever reason, or we find a better forum host that actually, or something like that.
No, our forum host is actually pretty good.
But if we ever need to, like a better place for a forum, then we'll let everyone know and we'll let everyone know on our Facebook page. So I think we should start linking our Facebook page into this thing.
Actually, our forums are actually host on our host.
Yeah, but still, if we have any quick updates for you guys, or you just want to go on if you want to know about anything that we're doing, we have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
We are getting a Twitter page as soon as Matt decides to make a Twitter account for it.
Too lazy.
You're too lazy. I might do it, but then I'd have to give Matt all this password info and stuff, so.
I don't really care. care.
I don't. Huh?
I don't really care.
So I'd be like the moderator of the Twitter page. We're talking about something that we should be talking about off the podcast on the podcast.
Yeah.
We got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
That means you have more editing to do.
Correct.
All right, this is, as we said, this has been Japan Anime News. I'm sure the Hayes.
Matt Alive.
We're signing off.
Thank you for listening.
Yep.